think my whole life has been a spiritual quest, like many people. And the tradition Baba had me born into was Catholicism, and I had many good experiences as a Catholic. And then as I aged and grew up, I also integrated my Western spirituality and Christianity with Eastern spirituality. And I was visiting a retreat at the Omega Institute that was a chanting weekend. I went on Labor Day weekend in 2008 and again in 2009 with a good friend who gifted the weekend with me. We chanted all weekend. And one of the chanters shared a story of what it's like to have a guru. And he gave an image. He said, when you meet the guru, it's like they've put a hook in your heart, and even if you weren't conscious of them, it's like your whole life they were reeling you in. And those 2 years I was suffering a lot, emotionally, spiritually, with some tough decisions, and felt empty on the inside and thought, if there is someone that loves me that much, that's either the craziest idea ever or the most incredible possible thing that could ever happen for a human being. So I left that talk wondering about, well, if I had a guru, who would that be? And at the Omega Institute, there's a library, and I went upstairs in silence, and a Baba lover tells it this way. He says, I chose Baba from a lineup because in the library there's like a picture of like at least 10 gurus on the wall. And I just sat there, had no left brain recognition or knowledge of the Eastern traditions that were represented. And my heart just opened up to this one picture. I never met a Baba lover, I never heard anyone say his name. And I went up and leaned with a picture and read Mara Baba. And I went to the library and took a book off the shelf that was about him, and everything about him, I was like, well, that's what I've known to be true. I believe that. So I spent 5 months writing to him every day in my journal, Dear Baba. And I never met a Baba lover. I never knew of anything like the centers. And it was really interesting because it was a very internal practice. And on January 27, 2010, like 5 months later, I wrote my last little entry to Baba and kind of forgot about him, like he was on the back burner. And then in 2011, a year later, I went through a lot of changes. I had a divorce, an 18-year relationship ended. My mom and dad both died in hospice 9 days apart. And I went to this acute season of grief where I was starting my life over. And as I journeyed a lot and took time off from work, I happened to be going by the Mara Baba Center in Myrtle Beach. And I was only going to spend one night because I didn't know anything about the Baba community. And when I got there, I was like, I need to stay longer than one night. So I stayed a whole week, and I spent a lot of time going back there again and again. And I got more information about Baba. I became more conscious of who he was historically. Heard a lot of Baba stories. And at one of my stays at the center, someone had just said to me, you know, when you're at the center, it's like everyone you meet is a reflection of Baba. There's no accidents. And I've been staying there for a week just to kind of retreat and kind of process the grief I was going through. And I had a big box of journals of all my journaling I'd been doing for like the past 4 years. And I took a day off and went to the movie theater across the street from the center in a mall. And I was by myself, left a movie, and a total stranger came up to me. And I always assumed she was asking this because she wanted to check the date on her phone or something. She goes, do you know what today is? And I was irritated. I was like, why are you bothering me? And I looked at my calendar and go, it's January 27th. And then I drove back to the center and thought, why does Baba want me to know what today is? So I went back to my cabin and I opened up a box of these journals. And the first one I grabbed happened to be that journal I kept for 5 months where I wrote to him every day. And I opened the last entry, and on January 27, 2010, I'd forgotten I wrote this. I said, I surrender my life to you. So in that moment, it was like Baba saying, you may have forgotten, but I never have. That's my Baba story. And it continued to be a journey of love, of meeting people at the center, people just gifting me with a story I needed to hear, physical gifts, books, and it's continued to be a journey of some time alone, very inward, and also being in community with other Baba lovers. And so thank you for asking for this story. I'm grateful to share it.